You can't start the next chapter while constantly rereading the previous chapter. Today I think will be one of those ones where we'll see where we end up. But I was having a conversation with a prospect on this, and we were having the discussion about where they're at. And so I outlined what we'd be looking at for the next phase. You know, nutrition-wise, we're talking through these things. And they just look at me and go, oh, I couldn't do that. Not long term. Maybe for a month or two, but there's no way that's sustainable long term for me. And I was like, but that's the problem. That was my response. And they could see it on my face because I sat there for a minute and I was like, but this is exactly the problem. That you are telling me that the results aren't coming, that the results don't last, they never last. Well, of course they don't. If this is your attitude before we've even begun, before we've even stepped foot in the arena, you're telling me that you can't do this long term. You can't maintain this for the ongoing foreseeable future. You couldn't continue like this. You could do that for a little bit, then you need to go back to what you're doing. Well, of course, if you go back to what you're doing now, you're going to end up back where you started. It's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Of course you're going to keep returning to that spot. Of course you're going to keep getting the same results. Of course things aren't going to change long term. And how could you think that they are? If what you're doing is not producing the results you want, change what you're fucking doing. This isn't rocket science. This is just common sense. And yet so many people look at health and fitness and exercise and all these kinds of things, even just down to life, chasing dreams, chasing greatness, anything like that, as a temporary solution to where they're currently at. And then wonder why they just keep going round and round in circles. Because you never actually change. You never actually upgrade who you are. You keep rereading the previous chapter. So of course, you keep getting the same narrative. You keep getting the same story. Because you just keep reenacting it. You keep undertaking the same story over and over and over again. Of course it's going to be the same. You cannot get a different result until you change the actions that you are taking. And change them long term. Not just short term, not this in the moment thing, but make a decision that you're going to be a different person. If you want to lead a different life, you need to make decisions as a different person. We can't keep cycling through these things. We can't keep returning to where we were. We have to make a decision and progress forward into something new. But you have to accept that part of it. You have to accept that it is going to require a different version of you to achieve a different life. You showing up as you are has gotten you to where you are. If you want to get somewhere different, it's going to require you acting like a different person. And this is just the reality of this, that you have to accept that it's going to require different actions. It's going to require a different life. Achieving a different life is going to require you showing up and doing different things. And clearly that's what you want, because you wouldn't be stuck where you are at the moment if what you were doing had facilitated what you wanted. So start making better choices. Start making better decisions. Just start making different decisions and accepting that it's going to require that to achieve something different. Same actions, same outcomes. Different actions, different outcomes. It's really that simple. But most people don't want to talk about that. And as I've said many a times, most people don't want to recognize that generally the majority of what required is different actions consistently for a long period of time. This whole thing, especially if we want to narrow it down just to the physique component, isn't complex. It just requires effort. It requires hands and daylight. It requires consistency. That's it. We had dinner with a friend and his partner last night, and she was like, oh wow, you look great, you look incredible, you leaned out, must have been like a really intense hardcore cut you've gone through. And I was like, nope. She's like, what do you mean no? And I was like, just consistency. Just made a decision and did it. And she's like, well, what does that mean? And I was like, well, for 250 days, we are currently at my 4th day of not eating perfectly. And she's like, what? So like it wasn't like super intense cutting? I was like, no. It doesn't mean it wasn't hard. Like those first couple of months, cutting out sugar, cutting out alcohol, cutting out, processed carbs, cutting out all of this stuff. Yeah, it was difficult, but it wasn't intense. It was just, here's what I'm now doing. I ate meat. I ate fruit. I ate sweet potato. Occasionally I ate raw dairy and I ate some honey. That's fucking it. And my results come not from the intensity of that, though there is intensity in other areas, but from consistency. Hands and daylight. Just showing up and doing the work every single day. That is where I've got my results from. That is what has delivered it. It's the consistency over everything else that has produced these results. And that's the answer. But that's the answer nobody wants to know. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to, look at that version of it. Nobody wants to look at it as just being fucking consistent. Because they want to keep rereading the chapter they're on. They want to, at bare minimum, return to this old favorite. They've got this version of their life, and they look at it and go, I like this version. I like this. Even though you don't, because otherwise you wouldn't be wanting to change. But you like the easiness that's associated to it. You like the dopamine chasing. You like the sedation. You like the, I suppose for lack of a better term, the lack of effort that's required and involved in it. You like that component of it. So you're like, yeah, I want to return to this at some point. But you don't. You don't actually want to return to that. You want to move forward. You want to change your life. You want to reach a different point. So you need to recognize that requires acting differently. That requires showing up as a different version of yourself. That requires becoming a different man. It requires sacrificing those areas and not returning to them. That you need to go, I don't want to live this life anymore. I don't like where I'm at in this life, whether that's your body, whether that's your career, whether it's just life in general, whatever it might be. If you aren't happy with it, you need to go, I need to end this chapter. I need to close the book, fucking set it on fire and go, I can never come back to it. Because you don't like the outcome that's associated with it. So why do we want to return to it? Why do we want to keep coming back to it? And the answer is it's known and it's easy. So you need to make a big boy adult decision and go, well, what's more important? Known, comfortable, and easy? Or living my best life, making adult decisions and choosing to progress forward, choosing the things that are going to deliver the kind of life that I want, the kind of life and experiences that I am wanting from this. To wake up with passion, to be excited about what my life will undertake. Make a decision on that. That we need to get past this, oh, well, I want a temporary fix for a long-term solution. No, that's not how we get there. That's not how you make a difference. That's not how you progress into a better version of your life. If you're looking for a temporary solution to like a problem that's ongoing, you'll get a temporary solution. It's not going to last, It's like going, oh, well, I've torn my meniscus. I'll ice it. Oh, the pain's gone. Cool, I'm good to go again. Oh, it hurts again. Oh, I'll just ice it again. Oh, look, I'm good to go again. You go round and round in circles because you didn't actually fix the problem. You need to shift a paradigm here. And I think this is the thing that is the hardest part to wrap your head around. But you have to shift your paradigm. You cannot continue on your current trajectory and then think that you're going to get a different result. You cannot continue to, live out those habits, those actions and those thoughts and be like, yeah, I'm totally going to end up in a different place, even though I'm just exhibiting exactly the same actions that I did in the beginning. It's madness. You have to make a decision that you are going to do something different. And as I said, close the book on that previous chapter. Whether it served you or not, whether you liked it or not, if you want something different, you cannot keep returning to it. You can't leave this last little vestige of this previous life and be like, it's okay, I'll just bookmark it here and I'll return when I'm ready. No, because you'll end up back again where you started. You have to recognize that those actions, those choices, those thought processes didn't serve you. It didn't produce the life and the results that you wanted. So therefore, stop returning to them. Stop doing them. Start accepting that you need to do better. And look, I don't think it's your fault. I think it's a lot to do with the fitness industry and the world we live in. Because everybody tells you that, you can get 5-minute abs or 12 weeks to lose 30 kilos. Just take this supplement and bam, watch it fall off, or whatever the fuck it might be. But in reality, 1, you need to build the habits and the discipline to do it long term, because those things, even if they do work, will not work long term. 2, you need to become the man who has those skills. You need to develop the skill of discipline, of commitment, of consistency, of fortitude, of just doing it. You need to develop the skill of hands in daylight, like just being as consistent as fuck with that. And that skill will transfer into way more of your life, into way better areas than anything else ever could. So this is the part that you've got to choose. This is the area that you've just got to make a decision on. But if you hold on to this notion that once you've done a little bit of work, you can return back to the status quo, you will forever be stuck there. You will forever be going round and round in circles. It's the epitome of yo-yo dieting and all those areas of it. It's the epitome of just backwards and forwards. So you need to make a decision of who you're going to be and start chasing something that ignites that passion in you, something that wakes you up and excites you. You want to find areas of your life where you can find that. And look, maybe working out isn't your thing. It isn't for a lot of people, but it is the vessel that allows you to tap into your human potential. It is the vehicle to take you there, to discover who you truly are and what truly matters to you. So you can find that. And look, there are days where I don't want to work out, where I don't enjoy that, but I love that ability to push myself. I love the ability to get into a situation and to discover who I am, to discover how strong up here is, to discover what's between my ears, and see that that matters a hell of a lot more than what my body is doing, what my body will allow. That is where we're at. That's what you need to start pursuing, because I think it can set up every area of your life. And as I keep trying to refine this message and refine this process and work out what exactly I am trying to deliver here, that's the thing that keeps coming up, that you need to take this on because of what it will deliver into your life, what it allows you to become, and who it allows you to become. It's the vehicle to deliver that. It's the vehicle to deliver who you can truly be. Because we have to undertake difficult tasks. We have to undertake things that are going to challenge us and push us and see who we can be. But we are so soft and we are so stuck in these really simple, gentle ways that we never discover passion and purpose. We never discover the high from pushing ourselves beyond what we think is possible. We never discover how hard we can push and see what's on the other side. Most people's potential is so untapped. It's never been even like questioned. It's just, this is who I am. And even people who work out, I see it frequently. These people who are like, yeah, I work out every day. And I will praise them because they're doing something. They're out there every single day actually doing something. That's better than being on the couch. But in terms of discovering what they're capable of, discovering how hard they can actually work, they're not. If it says 10 reps, they'll do exactly 10 reps. They won't go, oh, could I have ground out 11? Could I have gotten to 12? Maybe I could have gotten to 15 or 20. There's none of that. It's just, well, it said 10 and I did 10. End of story. There's no testing your mettle. There's no seeing who you could be. There's no working on the mental discipline. Because they're still stuck in this chapter of, I want it to be as easy as possible. Yeah, they've stepped into, chapter 2, but they haven't closed that book on how easy life should be. They still want to find a way for life to be simple and easy and comfortable. And I know it goes against everything that we as a society have championed these days. But I do truly believe that the point of your life should be to see how much you can handle, to take on challenges that make you uncomfortable, that make you nervous, that make you anxious, and see what is possible, to see what your greatness could look like, to tap into your potential, and then rise to the occasion, and then reset it and start again. Way back in the day when I started my gym, on one of the walls it says, dream so big that your dreams scare you. Dream so big that your dreams scare you. 12 years ago I put that on a wall, and it's still true to this day, that this is the thing that we need to be chasing. You need to dream so big that your dreams scare you. So stop settling for mediocre. Stop settling for, I'll return to this chapter, to this version of my life that I am clearly unhappy with. Stop settling for that and decide, fuck it. Let's end that. Let's burn that book. Let's move forward and see what is possible on the other side. Let's see who I can be if we just go all in. If we stop settling for comfortable and start chasing something beyond that. See who you can become on the other side of that. It's time to level up and discover what your potential could be. So if you're ready for that, shoot me a message. Let's get you into chasing greatness. And let's start that process. And let's discover what your potential could be. If you're not quite there, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if you took value from this, if it inspired you, if it spoke to you, if you know someone else who needs to hear this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'm here every single day, sharing from the front, leading by example, trying to get uncomfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable, pushing forward and seeing what my human potential is. And I don't think I've even scratched the surface yet. But I hope I can inspire you along the way as I go through this journey and inspire you to take on your version of chasing greatness. We'll be back again tomorrow. Until then.